back to the channel, fool. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Reflect videos like this.
You came out as an alien?
I came out as an alien. I'm in conservative Christian Houston, Texas, and I said I'm an alien. This was in 2021. Instead of getting canceled, it goes viral.
Where did that message come from that you're an alien? Was this from a medicine ceremony? Is this from intuition and synchronicity?
The medicine showed me the reality wasn't real, and I was being communicated with by spirits, guides, and telepathy. And they were telling me, you're not from here. We all get messages in multiple ways, from animals, through technology. I didn't even know what a starseed was, or star people. And then so the star people were part of the Lakota tribes. They came down on ships. It's all in the petroglyphs around the world, these little star fire-licking people, because they knew about energy. You get shown these things where it keeps flashing to you. I'm not even looking at this, and it's like the universe is pressing you. Most of us found Dolores Cannon.
Dolores Cannon was a hypnotist that hypnotized a bunch of people, and she found through thousands and thousands of regressions, she found out that people were having these past lives of being ETs and being brought here in different waves of volunteers in order to help the shift of humanity.
And also,
There you go.
and also through thousands of people that have no contact with each other under hypnosis, because a lot of times they're past life regressions, and she can stay with their soul as they go to the other side and hear sort of their higher self's perspective on the entire thing. She found that essentially there was some sort of intervention taking place from extraterrestrials to come down at this time to shift the consciousness of humanity at whole.
And the shift of consciousness is happening right here, right now.
There are certain sounds, there is a certain sound that they cannot stand, that they panic and they run away from. I know They Live, and in the movie They Live, and in They Live, there is a sound, there is a frequency, I don't know if you remember it towards the end, that Roddy Piper goes to, and it's a frequency that's being beamed out, which enables these aliens to look in human form, and when he breaks this frequency, then they're all seen. It alters the holographic projection that they're keeping. And I think it's a misconception that they are actually shape-shifting. Some are, but it's a misconception. Yeah. What they're actually doing is altering your visual cortex to make you think you're seeing them that way.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
And this is very important as well, you know, because you can that's the truth. They're not actually looking that way. They've just manipulated your mind to think that they are.
And that must work through all kind of visual media. Otherwise, you'd see a lot of these aliens walking around on TV.
Absolutely, yeah. I've noticed a lot of newsreaders, because they're doing that as an indoctrination and conditioning. If you look at newsreaders, because they're the ones who are in your house every day. Look carefully at the newsreaders. It's slowly drip drip. Conditioning you to accept.
BBC is the worst, I think.
Yes, yeah. I've noticed since we've changed to digital now, my senses have become extremely heightened, and even when I'm just listening to the TV, or even when you turn the volume down, I hear this sound frequency coming from the television that completely messes with my pineal gland.
And does vibrating high repel them?
Ariel, mira eso, amigo. ¿Qué mierda es eso? Mira. Ariel, mira eso, amigo.
that they've always been here. Some of these beings can, especially in the flying saucer group, that they actually can walk through those walls there. I mean, and you've heard so many stories, and they're factual in many cases, of flying saucers flying right into a mountain. Because to them, it doesn't mean anything, nothing to them. In the Zuni world, we call them the raw people. Raw people, because they're so supernatural, and they got the cosmic magic that they can do anything. They can appear right here and stand right here next to me, and they can disappear, and in instantaneous they'll be on the other side of the world. I mean, this is some technology that we have no understanding about yet. It's always been here. As far as things that are happening right now throughout the whole world, it's because that's the one that man created with the help of the dark forces. And if you really want to come right down to it, in the Pueblo and the Indian world, where I'm from, they call that witchcraft.
We only wanna make hopla, we don't wanna go war. We only wanna make hopla, we don't wanna go war. Only make hopla, we don't wanna go war. Only make hopla.
You can be right 100 times, but one mistake is all it takes.
Ne yapıyor ya? Ne yapacağız? Çarpıyor. Çarptı. Yapacak bir şey yok. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sakin, bir şey yok. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
When a millionaire meets a billionaire.
Hey y'all, it's 12 a.m. on a Sunday, and I came to Jack in the Box to get the munchies because I've been doing a little something, you heard? And look what decided to follow me here. Just look what we got here. We got some more of that alien action we've been hearing so much on the news. You know, if these beings are supposed to be green, and you know what else is green, I'm wondering if they got the munchies as well. Hold on, let me ask them. Hey, y'all got the munchies? I said, do y'all got the munchies? Oh, that's right, they closed. Y'all stay safe out there, you heard me? Y'all stay safe.
Are they holograms?
Texas Ghost Hunters presents the actual story and recording of hundreds of angels caught singing on a cassette tape during a recording session of a group of 7 choir singers.
7 people got together for choir practice in a church in Kansas City, and they were checking the sound equipment and their harmony. And they sang the chorus, Hallelujah, through. They paused, and then they sang it through again. That was it, a cappella, no instrument. And when they started playing it back, they thought something went wrong with the system until they realized that there were thousands of voices singing with them. There was a harp, bass guitar, trumpets, all sorts of things in there. And then during the time that they had paused, there's a solo, which none of them sang. I have a friend in Lubbock, Texas. I'll be with him next week, and he's a music professor. And he listened to this tape, and he said, Claude, there are voices on there that are higher than the human vocal range can go. And they are sustained for a longer time than what the human voice can sustain one note with that much clarity. And so there's no other explanation for it except supernatural.
It's a gigantic scam. Like one of the biggest, maybe the biggest scam ever.
And how many NGOs?
I think there's a total number of NGOs, probably millions, but in terms of large NGOs, tens of thousands. I mean, It's actually kind of a hack to the system, where someone can get an NGO stood up for a fairly small amount of money. Like George Soros was really good at this. Like George Soros is like a system hacker. Like he figured out how to hack the system. He's a genius at arbitrage. I mean, these days he's pretty old, but a genius at arbitrage. So he figured out that you could leverage a small amount of money to create a nonprofit, then lobby the politicians to send a ton of money to that nonprofit, so you can take what might be, a $10 million donation to a nonprofit to create a nonprofit and leverage that into $1 billion NGO. A nonprofit is a weird word. It's just a non-governmental organization, and then the government continues to fund that every year, and it'll have a nice sounding name like the Institute for Peace or something like that. But really, it's a graft machine.
And what are the requirements with that money? What do they have to do?
Just really no requirements at all.
So they just get grants and the government just assumes that they're doing good work.
I think a lot of people in the government know that they're not doing good work.
And someone had to blow the whistle.
You see my haircut? You want to see my haircut? Okay, yeah, you can look at my haircut.
Adam?
Yeah?
I can't do this.
Okay.
Caden just saw messages between you and the 17-year-old asking what are they wearing sexy.
Okay, hold on.
This screen recording was definitely guided by the divine.
The CIA actually weaponized a virus that they blew into the San Francisco fog just to see if people would get sick. This was in the late 1950s, and 11 people came down with this rare urinary tract infection that doctors had never seen before. And so that was a success. We can weaponize this. And, maybe we blow this in Shanghai Harbor or in Moscow in the summertime. Another thing that they did, also part of MKUltra, is they recruited prostitutes in San Francisco to go out and find Johns and bring them back to what was really a CIA safe house. It was made to look like a cat house. A CIA safe house, drug them, and then try to get them to tell their innermost secrets. So they dosed them with LSD and with a couple of there were like 6 different medications.
This was like Sidney Gottlieb's experiment, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It came from Sidney Gottlieb's experiment. It was supposed to be some sort of truth serum, but with LSD as a base. Does it work? Well, who cares if it works? These guys never consented to be drugged by you guys to tell their innermost secrets. And then you just dump them on the street somewhere in San Francisco. Yeah. But that kind of thing was happening a lot until 1975.
Church Commission.
The Church Committee.
Have you been, sir? I am great. One of those boxes that he's getting. It's coming on stop, right? Stop. Oh.
Bro, it was moving before you got out.
What can you tell us about a certain Arcturian city which initiated the starseeds?
This city is a crystal city. And so the center of the city has this 40,000-foot crystal spire, and then the rest of the city is built around that. And the reason they do that is it handles all of their power requirements, and then this very resonant frequency is held within the city. And that resonant frequency that's held within the city is for their consciousness. And on the outside of the city are what they call communospheres. So they're big spheres, they're hooked in a ring around the city. And then communities live inside these spheres.
How big are these spheres?
So we live in this little place called Port Orchard. There's, I believe we have like 10,000 people that live in that area. And he said we could fit Port Orchard in one of the spheres.
Oh, wow.
So it's got to be fairly good size. But it's, they have these, you know, for lack of a better word, living spaces that are inside these spheres. And it maintains a resonance that keeps them consciously connected. And so, like they say, whatever they learn in some elevated knowledge form gets transferred to all of the spheres. So they all know the same thing.
And how do we get there?
That sinkhole that ate this Illinois soccer field happened to your house, it would be more probable than what they found in these vases. These are ancient Egyptian vases made out of granite. Some engineers saw this and said, hey, those are too precise, so they measured them. They were too precise for mechanical measurements, so they laser scanned them. The laser scan wasn't precise enough, so then they CT scanned them with an X-ray. CT scans are micron precise. That is a human hair. CT scans get that precise. You can see that level of detail. Here's one of them. Green means that if it was going on an airplane, it would be considered perfect. If I gave you a pencil with a micron thin tip, a perfectly straight line would be green. If you're off by 3 microns, that's yellow. These are designed using circles. The pattern is based on sacred geometry. It's called radial traversion. It just means that every curve on that vase is a harmonic ratio like music. They tested the mathematically perfect pattern on a digitally designed vase. The difference between the perfect digital one and the Egyptian one was 9 microns. They then found out that the units they were working with were based on the speed of light. I'll let Ben explain this.
This is very interesting, as it means that the base unit seems to be a simple whole number subdivision of the speed of light in a vacuum.
All of this got a harsh reaction from the archaeological community for a very good reason. What they have to say they used based on that story is now proven false with data. Now, Flint uses these alabaster vases as an example. I literally just saw these at the Egyptian Museum. But those are not even close to as precise as this machined modern vase that they compared the Egyptian one to. They date these as pre-dynastic, so using only copper. But before they built the greatest monument of all time, they were able to produce hundreds of thousands of these at aircraft-grade precision. So saying that they resorted to slavery and just worked really hard makes them look worse, while saying they were more advanced immediately goes that direction. Just to make this clear, the Hindu, Egyptians, and the Mayans built their shit. No aliens, just these aliens, who told this story, took their stuff, in a time when horses were high-tech.
Always turned up, you feel me? And I be lit. You can't look at all of this torture against children, all of this violence against women, all of the torture against little boys. You cannot look at that without self-medicating eventually. We'll catch a guy red-handed and he'll beg for Jesus and God and swear to God it's not him. I'm showing them, look, bro, I'm going to go get this lady in New Jersey next week. Wack gonna say, that's your hustle. We respect that. And I told you, nigga, come get in with it. So that's when I say, there is a global pedophile and sex slavery network that operates around the world. We've only seen 2 people attack me online. I told Adam22, I'm like, Pierce Morgan trying to run a whole play on you. They got you painted as a whole pedophile. I call and get him the heads up. Because I thought we were smooth, but other weird are happening. People from him Start calling me trying to get my address to send me some promo packages. I'm looking like, yeah, you my address. They was trying to backdoor. My problem with this is this. Y'all playing for the internet. If somebody approaches me and attempts to do any type of harm to me, they're gonna in front of everybody. All this I talk, all of this I'm out here doing, you think that the guys is finna play?
He said, man, that man, he told me he worked with the police, that you work with the police.
By law, if I go out and I on an active retrieval, I have to inform law enforcement what I am doing. If not, now you're a vigilante, and now I get no support from them for anything that I do. You cannot do what I do without having a working relationship with people in places of authority. So I'm doing real life, and the only people to attack me is 2 black dudes, but they only found me because of doing no jumping. So in my mind, the global pedophile network that operates paid somebody. Because think about this. Look at everybody Diddy is suing. I'm not on there. He even sued Courtney Burgess. I'm not on there. How come don't nobody want to press me in real life? Because I'm on Real Life Street Stars right now. When I be out with y'all, I'm taking nobody is playing no game.
Protect the children and pray for Big Homie.
Here comes the alien mothership.
So
energies and stuff like
we
that.
were establishing that the Rothschilds at the top, I mean, at the top level, the highest that it goes, that the head of the Rothschild family is the Pindar. So it's the man who runs the whole show. Comes from the Rothschild family. He's been doing that certainly for the last 200 or 300 years.
You're talking about the basically the planetary the planetary or the solar system lord that runs the manor?
He is the go-between for the inner Earth reptilian species and the outer, the external hybrids. So he's the one, the go-between. He's the head. He calls. He was the only person who the Queen Mother would had to kind of cower away from, was Pindar is above.
Right, and this is the model, basically the model where all planets are actually gates. They're surrounding black holes. So this is what Nassim Haramein and people are talking about. So the inner Earth, the inner Sun, is the black.
Holy shit! I've never seen anything like it.
Free house wash like at the car wash.
But the devil good. I'm gonna tell you about that later. But I'm talking about the thing they locked them in. That's the low energy. Because no such thing as bad or good. Either you vibrate low or you vibrate high. See, one thing about the other gods, where Sophia come from is a whole lot of gods, and all these gods vibrate high. Sophia is God.
Where is she coming from?
Stop playing on me. Listen.
Who created Sophia?
Listen, Sophia created. Listen, Sophia. I'm telling you what Sophia came. Sophia came from a realm of spirits, and she was created out of this realm. So there's a lot of gods in this realm.
So who created Sophia?
Listen to me. Let me tell you.
Okay, that's God.
Listen, Sophia's God. She was created out of the realm of the light, out of all of this, right? So Sophia is many gods, so many gods. But after Sophia, she created one God. She made created one. He was God, but he's God of this.
So who created Sophia though? That's who's bad.
I just told you who created Sophia's good.
No, who created Sophia?
I just told you.
Heifer there. Who created her?
Come on, gang. I'm calling no heifer.
No, that's heifer. Who created her?
Man, stop playing with
You
me.
play too much.
I'm not gonna play. Listen, I'm not gonna play.
Who created that heifer?
I'm not gonna play with Sophia, gang. Listen, anyway, she was created by the gods. Everybody created. It's like you don't understand about the spiritual realm. I can't even begin to tell you this. Like, who created God then?
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody created Sophia then.
You just
it's
lied.
the same.
You just said
It's the
somebody
same.
is created. Hold up.
It's the
You just
same.
said- You just said
It's the same.
somebody created.
I never said that. I never
Hold
said
up.
that.
Did Sophia?
Let me finish.
Hold on.
Let me
Don't
finish
ask
my
one
point.
question.
Let me finish my point.
Did Sophia tell you to paint your hand black?
Listen, we wrapping my nails black for this.
No, Sophia.
Let me tell you why. 'Cause
crazy.
it's like I believe in energy. Like this keep the negative energy away. Like this world not real. Everything is illusion. Like this really not solid. Like everything you around is illusion. Like everything is a trick. So what I mean by that is Jesus knew about the trick, and Jesus was kind of like a trick. Jesus was a hologram. What I mean by Jesus being a hologram is like the world is like he tricked. Sophia is really smart, right? So when
where Sophia stay at?
The best place to find Sophia is the same place Jesus told you to find her, is within your heart. She lived within you.
I don't know that heifer.
I mean, Jesus said find her.
Now, is Sophia over your house doing?
I mean, nobody know her name. Like, that's one thing, like, that name Sophia got a lot of power in it.
Quiet,
so everybody watching
well,
this now.
I can't talk. I'm going to be quiet. Man, I'm going to let you talk. That pepper, man, I'm going to be quiet.
Well, I'm going to be quiet.
I will talk. Okay.
A different topic. I want to talk about some.
Sophia, the goddess of wisdom, also known as Isis.
Old world technologies, such as bells, which would send out resonant frequencies into the community beyond. So many photos of bells being rounded up all over Europe. We're living in a time where we're waking up to what we so recently had.
Organ is a healing machine. That's why it was integral to the construction of ancient Gothic cathedrals, was the centerpiece. Now, around the building, up, down, around, beneath, you had pipes and essentially speakers.
They placed these beautiful organs under these stained glass windows, which are treated with lead and specific properties. And these, they work like car speakers. They augment the resonance and the sound out into the ether outside. So everyone outside in the community is invigorated, is on a higher state of consciousness, literally being the best they can. And you can see it in the pictures of these people in the day. Everyone is healthy.
Live, authentic pipe organ performance will tell you your bones rattle, your organs start to respond, your hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Sit there and saturate in the healing frequencies yourself. Cathedrals are something beyond just a center for worship. They are healing machines. And the pipe organ of the cathedral is just one tiny little finger of this whole realm that we're talking about.
You've got starports, which I call a gateway topic because the same structure exists all over the earth, have been given to us as fortifications that were built for these different wars, which made them military targets, and they have an excuse for why it was destroyed.
If you look at photos of even the buildings that still exist of the old world, they always give a backstory for why they took them down, but it's just curious why so many towers are missing now. And so Pioneer Square is one of those examples. And this was built in the immediate aftermath of the fire in 1889. Is curious because it appears on a real estate map from before the fire in a fully and intact form.
In order for stone to burn down, it has to reach 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. House fire reaches the temperature of 1,000 degrees. That's half.
This is exactly why my fireplace right here is made of brick and stone, because it doesn't melt. Forest fires are going to be melting brick and stone. Use your head, guys.
As they are busy dismantling it in the 3D reality that we experience, it was part of a program to dismantle the old world.
Looks fun and scary at the same time.
They had to shut this thing down. And that's where USAID came in. Check this out.
Let me ask you one thing before I forget. Pravat Bank. I understand the governor of the bank is tentative about setting a date certain for the transition to take place. And I'm being told secondhand that, I don't know this is her position for sure, that she is unsure of a date until she gets an agreement from you. Here's what I've told them. I've told them to get back to her and set a date, and I would talk to you about the date. Because this is getting very, very close. What I don't want to have happen, I don't want Trump to get in the position where he thinks he's about to buy onto a policy where the financial system is going to collapse and he's going to be looked to pour more money into Ukraine. That's how he'll think about it before he gets sophisticated enough to know the detail. So anything you can do to push the Privat Bank to closure so that the IMF loan comes forward, I would respectfully suggest is critically important to your economic as well as physical security. I know it's difficult. I know Kolomoisky is a pain in the ass and a problem for everybody, but it really is critical.
Do you guys see what's going on here? We play this one first for a reason. Biden is basically threatening the Ukrainian president prior to Zelensky. Hey, man, your physical security could be at risk if you don't shut this down right away. Notice what he's talking about. He's afraid Donald Trump is going to start looking into the money going to Ukraine. That's what that whole thing is about. He's afraid of Privat Bank specifically, which is a bank alleged to be involved in the payments between Burisma and the Biden family through Hunter Biden. He doesn't want, very simply stated, he is terrified that Poroshenko is going to start asking President Trump for Ukrainian money. President Trump and his team are going to start looking at the money that went over there and find what? Maybe that USAID funds were involved in the attacks on Donald Trump, the collusion hoax, and the other stuff? You get what's going on here?
Corruption at its finest.
Small machines have been discovered that were built so long ago that no one really knows for sure who built them. They cannot be replicated, and no one knows exactly how they were built. Now, I'll give you an example of the Andromedans. The Andromedans are approximately 43 to 4,500 years more advanced than we are technologically. Now, that's in our years, all right? Now, in our years, okay, a year for us equals 365 days. Okay? This is one rotation around our sun. The Andromedans count years in a completely different way. In fact, almost all the extraterrestrials do. And their concept of age, of counting, especially in this way, what they consider a year is when every cell in their body has been fully replicated. Now, if we did that, 1 year would be equal to 7 years in our body. Okay, so it takes approximately 34 years for their bodies in our time to replicate every cell in their body in our time. Okay? So it's hard to give you exact dates of when they say something happened to put it into our timeline, okay, of years. Okay? Because in reality, if I say it was 4,000 years ago, then it's a lot longer than that. Okay? But they've had a very hard time explaining to me exactly in our Earth time because they don't deal with the concept of time. You know? They just don't. All right? So, but I'm giving you these numbers in Earth years just to give you an idea of how vast our history is. Okay? Now, amazingly, these machines still work. The machines do not have a name in the English language, okay? They don't even have a symbol that we could comprehend. So, it's been explained to me that it is considered an antimatter machine, okay? It creates matter. It creates molecules, which then create atoms, which then creates physicality. And these are actual machines. They're like computers, where you can program it for what you want, and this machine will literally bring it forth and manifest it. And there it is, physically there. Okay? Now, if each one of us had one of these machines, it would be like winning the lottery every day. You know? Mike likes to do VWs. He could make himself a new VW as soon as the new models came out, as soon as he knew what he wanted. Okay? I could create a babysitter. You know, so that my wife and I could go out. Okay, and that's what now, apparently there are 7 of these actually working, and 7 different races have one of these machines. Now, these are archaeological finds, discoveries, these atom-making machines, for lack of a better word. I'm sorry? There is one on the planet. There is one here. Yes, there is. Flat. No comment.
Kim Montgomery has this head out in Washington State, and it's in the woods. She keeps it in the woods, and it just sits there. And I know this thing was alive, and you'll see in a second. You see these different textures around the eyes, around the lips, and like the creases and so forth, up on the head and in the back. I'll show you. This was a fluted-headed creature. This is the back of the head, where it comes out fluted. You see this? The head's cracked here. There's red blood coming out of it. All right, there's the carapace that comes over. Now open, and that is literally red blood coming out of here. This is a real close-up of the eye.
And now, guys, you have an idea.
This is very, very weird, to say the least. This young woman stops outside a house and sits down on the middle of the road. The house security camera picks up on audio, and you can hear her speaking out loud, as if talking to someone who isn't there. But here's the strange part. She gets answers. Something is conversing with her. Could she be experiencing some kind of mental health episode, and she is actually the one mimicking another voice? Or is this an entity that moves through the frequency of the electricity and is intelligently conversing with this woman? It seems to be talking when she talks, so it would be hard to pull it off. Wear headphones for this and see if you can pick up on words I've missed or couldn't make out, and let me know what you hear.
I would never. Sometimes a man can't handle his responsibility. That's the point. No, no.
Fake fam or real demons?
Boss, most I can do is drop this washer off to you.
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
I said the most I can do
Yeah.
is drop this washer off to you.
No, you're not going to drop no frickin' washer off to me.
Look,
you
man.
Can take it back to, you can take it back to your company, and I'll tell them you refuse to take out the old one and bring in the new one. How would that suit your ass?
That's better.
Okay?
Look at this place, man. You don't see the car outside cleaner than the house?
You guys came with a bad attitude in the first
Look at the car. Look at the car. The car cleaner than the house, man. You need to clean the house. Can't work out.
He mad because he cleared that little pathway to the back just for the occasion.
Listen, for $100, you gotta let me hold your hand for 5 seconds. $100. Come on. You gotta let me hold your hand for 5 seconds.
You know I ain't playing this bull.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh!
I knew you had some mother. You bitch. Makes sense.
Soft hands.
Mother.
I cannot lie.
Make damn sense.
That was the longest 5 seconds of his life.
I cannot believe I'm getting this on video. Bitch, I told you. I ain't about to release this shit though. I'm not trying to have somebody follow me. Bro, what in the hell? This is insane. What the kind of bug is that?
The bug is simply choosing the best one. Customers are always right. And she had too much of that Zaza.
Yeah, the eighth sphere is not the moon. Blavatsky reiterated that in her book. This is Dark Journalist video part 2. And one of the things that I know they use with Carl Jung, Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, all of them were talking to the wireless. They were using the same wireless to talk to their digital twin. The doppelganger is a digital twin, has physical effect, courtesy of the N-series math, bioplasmonic imprint to their biofield. Several of the high-level Masons just using Morse code to talk to each other with only their biofield after World War II. So the mystery schools being up in arms and fighting over all of this, that's your same X-Class Protect projects who has control of the human DNA databases. Now, we may call it a mystery school, but one of the things I've tried to get my channel to understand is that this is human to human. They don't understand that. They're looking for little green men. Well, the people on my channel, I think, do a lot more now. But all of the propaganda that we've had for the last 70 years or so has been little green men. So, plus the star seeds that are tethered to Cisco control planes in business right now today. Your CIA handlers in all the groups with every New Age community, with anybody who could be a medium or a channeler, anybody who could do anything real with their actual neurons and bioelectricity. Some people call it psychic, call it whatever you want. Those are your abilities, and they're natural in humans if you develop your biofield and your own bioelectricity. That's the number one thing they wouldn't let anybody do as long as I've been alive. And they absolutely, human to human, in business, use this stuff for only the people that can afford it. So if this is all about ascension and moving from one realm to another, why are these humans trying to trap our energy here? And why are the Abrahamic faiths so unhelpful? See, the Norse and others used oratory to pass down knowledge. But the Abrahamic faiths and your crazy-ass Chaldeans and all these Gnostics, they're going off of bubblegum wrappers from antiquity that were conveniently handed to them. At the same time, Book of Enoch and Nag Hammadi in the 1930s. More propaganda, in my opinion.
You literally almost signed to Polo G's record label.
I heard millions in it. I was just planning on going there and signing it. But I'm with one of my old cameraman at the time.
And were you in the world this time?
Yeah, I was in the world. Yeah. This is secular music. It's not even Christian music, not even a thought about Christian. I'm there, I'm looking through the deal, I'm just skimming through it. So then my homeboy grabbed it. He like, oh, let me just, before you sign, bro, let me just look through it real quick, bro. It's like he knew where the page was or something. He was just flipping, bro. He like stopped. He was like, bro, you ain't read this? I said, read what? But the thing said, you could not say the name Jesus. It didn't say God.
Wow.
It said, you cannot say the name Jesus. I forgot what else it said. It's like, it was like a threat in there. So they'll basically say like they know your family, where they live at. Stuff that's in those like dotted lines that we will not read, but it's literally them saying like, if you say the name Jesus, you're gonna die.
Another proof of Jesus' power.
Hey, I come down the alley, you got it all blocked. I just want the food and get the out of here.
Okay, that's not how it works. You're not gonna yell. We're gonna have a conversation.
You got me upset. You got me upset.
No one got you upset. You got yourself upset. So you have to sign it in. You have to scan this QR code and you have, is that your card? You have to move
I'm gonna move it. Just give me the bag, please.
I can't give you the bag until you sign it in. So you can cancel the order or sign it in, but you have to move your card.
What do you mean sign it in?
We have a sign-in process.
I've never been here before.
Okay, we can help you.
This is a new zone for me.
Okay.
I've 5 years. 5 years doing this.
Okay, you're not getting the order. Cancel it.
You.
Okay, bye.
GPS took me right there. Now you got another guy. That's some kind of private lot. I'm gonna report you folks to DoorDash.
Move your car.
I'm moving. I'm leaving.
Okay,
I'm reporting you to DoorDash.
Go ahead. I don't care. Go.
And when bro says I know a place, you better believe him.
If you drink any liquid along with your food, the acids that are necessary for digestive process will get diluted, your whole digestive process gets inefficient. You will see the food will remain in the stomach bag for too long. We are very concerned about this always, that we don't want food to remain in our stomach bag for more than 2.5 hours maximum. If it remains there, it makes you dull. It makes you lose your sense of perception. For most of the chronic ailments that people are suffering today in the world, the headquarters is in the stomach.
True or lie? You guys let me know.
You know what? They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, you know?
If you could remember, struggle, tell me, give me a date.
You know what? I'll have to go back to the clinic and see if they can restore my memory.
Remember, she has a black aura.
More than just insider trading. Like the insider trading stuff, like the stock portfolio stuff is quite trackable, but there's, it's a lot more than insider trading.
The way they're acquiring wealth.
Correct.
And what other methods?
I mean, this is really going to get me assassinated. It's like, I'm not lengthening my lifespan by explaining this stuff, to say the least. I mean, I was supposed to go back to DC. How am I going to survive? It's going to kill me for sure. In fact, I do think like it's like, I actually have to be careful that I don't push too hard on the corruption stuff because it's going to get me killed. Yeah, it's like I was actually thinking about that on the plane flight over here. It's like if I push too hard on the corruption stuff, people get desperate.
And he's fighting against a great evil.
Why the is a horse in this rhythm? No. Why is hell no. I'm scared of horses. No. That's not gonna work for me. No. Get the horse. I'm ready to go. No. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ready to go. I'm afraid of horses.
And that door was shaking too hard for me. And that's a wrap for tonight, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash that subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.